This is why your altcoins are not pumping. In this video, we're going to be having a look at the Bitcoin dominance. We're going to be having a look at the regular Bitcoin chart. We're also going to be having a look at Ethereum. We're going to be having a look at this altcoin season index, not only on the season, on the monthly, on the yearly right here. And we're going to be having a look at some news right here. Asia morning briefing. Bitcoin slips below $110,000 as signs of fatigue emerging. Is Bitcoin getting tired right now after essentially breaking out all the way to $110,000 right here? So Bitcoin did have a nice little breakout right here. We had a nice little beautiful bounce above the point of control, which is this nice little given line right here, red line. And we also had a nice little beautiful breakout above this nice little channel. Okay, so this was a descending channel. We know descending channels or bull flag are usually bullish once we break out to the upside. And the big question is, will Bitcoin essentially attempt to make another all-time high in 2025? So obviously this is not so good, because if this does end up turning back, this will essentially be a lower high, which is a bearish pattern. Okay, so we're going to need to take that lower high pattern right here. If we do come back down and retest this level, we're most likely going to essentially come back down and pretty much crash down to $95,000, which is this demand level, which I've been talking about for quite some time. And also it's a second area where most of the volume profile is. So the first point of control is actually right here. You guys can see this is where most of the volume has been at this level right here at $103,000. And then the second one is actually right here. Why right here? Well, we could see right here, this is the demand level, support region. Right here is pretty empty. There's nothing really, much to essentially capture support for Bitcoin. And pretty much that's about it. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Bitcoin if you want your altcoins, especially Ethereum, to be in track. Now, why are your altcoins not pumping, right? A lot of people have this question. Bitcoin pumping, Bitcoin's exploding, and you guys can see that altcoins are not really going up. Well, we need to have a look at the Bitcoin dominance. This is the Bitcoin dominance right here, currently sitting at 64.54%. Obviously, the Bitcoin dominance tells you how much of the whole crypto market cap is into Bitcoin. And you guys can see right here, 64.54% is into Bitcoin. Now, if we have a look right here at the monthly time frame, you guys can see that the Bitcoin dominance has been literally dominating crypto since 2022. I mean, even before that, since 2021, the Bitcoin dominance has been absolutely destroying every crypto asset, altcoins, meme coins, doesn't matter what it is, it's been destroying. This thing has been absolutely going parabolic. If you probably would have bought Bitcoin in 2022, your gains would have been far higher than any other altcoins. And I'm not obviously including meme coins, but I'm talking about, any other altcoins. So that's what's happening right now for Bitcoin, 64%. Now, how high can the Bitcoin dominance go? The Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, can go to as high as 71.51%. That is pretty high. People think, oh, it's only a 10% pump from here. But that just means that your altcoins will not only bleed 10 more money is going to flow into Bitcoin, and that every correction that happens. So if Bitcoin corrects right now, you could expect your altcoins to get essentially destroyed even more, right? And another thing that we're going to have to talk about is Ethereum, guys. What the hell is happening with Ethereum? Stuck at $2,600. You guys can see this is Ethereum on the daily time frame. This consolidation started on May 10th, 2025. So exactly a month ago, Ethereum has been consolidating right here for 30 days. And of course, if we go back to Bitcoin, where was May 10th? Right here. So yes, Bitcoin did have a nice little consolidation, but what happened? Bitcoin freaking moved. It went an all-time high to $112,000, came back down to $101,000, and then came back up. So the fact that Ethereum is literally stuck in this level right here, it means that there's not so much demand for altcoins yet. The demand are not so high for altcoins yet. And for those of you guys who don't know, is because of interest rate. Now, why are altcoins not pumping, right? Interest rate are still very high, guys, 4.5%. Until the interest rate are not close to zero, in my opinion, we're not going to see an altcoin season anytime soon. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Yes, your altcoins can pump as Bitcoin's pumping. Yes, your altcoins can pump 1 to 1 or 1 to 2% as Bitcoin's pumping. But that doesn't mean that the Bitcoin dominance will come down. Remember, guys, we have altcoin season when the Bitcoin dominance comes down, right? We saw this massive altcoin season right here in 2020 all the way to 2022. We saw another one right here in 2017, 2018, before the whole futures thing came out. Bitcoin hit $19,000 before crashing down to like literally $3,000 in COVID time. And pretty much we're waiting for the same exact thing to essentially happen. So obviously Bitcoin is still on an uptrend. In my opinion, history will repeat itself. We're most likely going to reach 71.6%. At this time, you should probably go 100x on altcoins. I'm kidding, not financial advice. Always do your own research and due diligence. And pretty much we're most likely going to see that drop. But in my opinion, we still have some time. I believe that the altcoin season is probably going to happen when no one expects it. First of all, number one, interest rate need to come down. Okay, so if interest rate don't come down, we're not going to see an altcoin season. Number two, we need to see the Bitcoin dominance pretty much reach 71 or 72%. When these two things happen, you should probably start taking loans and investing into altcoins, because your altcoins are most likely going to 10x within a couple of months. So that's what's happening right now. If we have a look right here at the altcoin season index, we're currently sitting at 18. You guys can see it's clearly Bitcoin season. Every time we are above 75, that's when it's altcoin season. We had an altcoin season right here for like 2 hours. Obviously, that wasn't so well. And of course, right now we've been trending on Bitcoin season since March. Oh my God. Literally since 5th of March 2025, it's literally been a clear Bitcoin season. Bitcoin at $112,000, obviously been destroying everyone. Is it an altcoin month? I mean, guys, it's clearly not an altcoin month. It's clearly Bitcoin month. I mean, Bitcoin is reaching lows right here, the lowest we have ever seen. I mean, we saw this pretty low at 6 on November 2024. And after that, what happened after that? Do you guys remember? 1 month before Trump came in, or a month after November, that's when altcoins literally went parabolic, exploded, destroyed, and of course, they literally went insane. And then what happened, guys? Trump came in and he launched this coin, and everything pretty much started to tank. And people were like, you know what? We're just gonna hold Bitcoin. It doesn't matter who's in president. We're just gonna hold Bitcoin. So yes, we could see a rally right now for altcoins, but in my opinion, it's still not gonna be an altcoin season. We could definitely see a pullback on the monthly, or an altcoin season on a monthly time frame. But what I really what I really want to see, guys, is an altcoin year. And this is something that we have not seen in a long time. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, we need to have an altcoin season before we have an altcoin year. That's not necessarily true, because you guys can see right here that altcoin year is currently sitting at 27 and altcoin season currently sitting at 18. So it's actually not necessarily true. We actually do not need to see an altcoin season before we see an altcoin year. But the last time we actually had an altcoin year, which in my opinion, that's when the real altcoin season is in 2020 all the way to 2022. So in my opinion, this is what the real altcoin season is going to be like. It's going to be multiple months trending at the altcoin year topic, not at the Bitcoin year. We don't want to see Bitcoin year. We want to see altcoin year. So we need to be trending, at least in my opinion, for multiple months, multiple weeks, even multiple years above 65 to 75. If we want to see that massive altcoin season that everyone is talking about. But as of right now, Bitcoin's clearly dominating. So there's 3 factors that are happening right now, guys. Interest rates, Bitcoin dominance, right? Or it's really 2, right? Bitcoin dominance and interest rates. Until we see that going down, I am not going to see an altcoin season anytime soon. Like I said, can your altcoin season go up? Will altcoins follow what Bitcoin does? 100%. Altcoins will always follow what Bitcoin does, but it depends to what extent. When Bitcoin goes up, altcoins are going to go up like 1 to 2%. When Bitcoin goes down, altcoins are going to crash 5 to 6%. Yes, that's how it is. A little bit annoying. But that is the story. That is my video, guys, on Bitcoin. There's nothing really too crazy to essentially talk about. We're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to see what Bitcoin does. We're going to have to see if Bitcoin is going to essentially do 3 consecutive candles right here to essentially confirm this bottom and maybe retest this point of control right here. In my opinion, if we come back and retest this point of control, you know what that means, guys. We're most likely going to essentially go back to $93,000 to $95,000, which means altcoins such as Ethereum are probably going to come back down and retest this level right here. In my opinion, Ethereum is most likely going to retest $1,700. Of course, we're going to have to see what happens. Unless Ethereum breaks out of here, I don't see it being bullish. We're going to have to see. Time will tell. And if you guys do like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, and I will see you guys in my next video.